Steady now.
At E3 2014, Nintendo would unveil two Wii U tech demos, both of which would languish in development strife for a couple of years. Project Guard showcased tower defense using cameras to fend off waves of robots, while Project Giant Robot saw the player creating a fighting robot to duel with another. While the latter would sadly be scrapped by around 2017, the former would end up becoming Star Fox Guard. Bundled with first print editions of Star Fox Zero, it would see another game adopt the space shooter IP outside the comfort of the cockpit, not unlike how Dinosaur Planet became Star Fox Adventures. The spin-off proves an enjoyable experience, even if the novelty of the concept and the controls grow stale towards the end. Grippy Toad, uncle of Star Fox team member Slippy, is the owner of Corneria Precious Metals, a series of mining bases for valuable resources. As a new employee, your first day goes pear-shaped as the base is overrun by robots. But a timely save from Slippy and the team helps you avoid unemployment and more tutoring ensues. This setup sees you progressing through 50 stages as you hop to different planets and defend bases on each. As you progress, you encounter more robot types and a couple of boss encounters to cap off each planet. The Star Fox links are a touch tenuous, as outside of brief story sequences and some hints at a returning villain, this one lacks the personality and charm the series grew known for. The gameplay here is admittedly quite novel, however. Whereas Star Fox Zero's stubborn adherence to gimmicks came to the detriment of gameplay, Guard makes nifty use of the Wii U's gamepad for its tower defense action. Each stage sees you manning 12 cameras armed with laser defenses as robots spawn in. Combat class bots will aim for the core and result in failure, while Chaos class robots distract, such as downing cameras. You can swap between cameras, drag cameras to move them, and flip them using the touchscreen, and it works rather well. Camera vision is steered with the analog sticks on your TV. Meanwhile, you can use any buttons on the gamepad to fire, so whether you prefer triggers or face buttons to fire, either is an option. Shooting down machines feels snappy and accurate, even when some can move with speed. It takes a bit of practice initially to juggle between looking at your gamepad then TV, but it functions intuitively as you acclimatise without feeling like a cheap gimmick. Sadly, the game does grow somewhat rote as you play. The main offender is the level design, with bland stages that lack the room for experimentation and variety despite the growing roster of robots to defend against. They might change shape between sub-stages, but it grows stale before you reach the end. 50 bonus stages can be unlocked, but they prove less enticing for two reasons. Firstly, they often follow a small handful of mission templates: survival endurance, limited ammo sharpshooting, or taking down parachuting robots. Secondly, the path to unlocking them feels like a grind. As you complete missions, downed robots reward scrap, which contribute towards your rank. Initially, rewards come in quite fast, but as you reach the midpoint of around level 25, the progress really slows, and even after completing the game, you'd be lucky to break level 30. Considering level 50 is needed to unlock every bonus stage, the repetition isn't worth it. There are some good spots here still. The variety of robots is great, with a slew of varied machines with different tactics. Abductatrons will hover over cameras to try and abduct them, Boo Ghost Bots require quick reflexes before they knock out your feed, and shielded combat drones require jumping between cameras to get the advantage. As you progress, new camera types become available, such as one which slows down time, and these can be very fun to utilise. Previously, everything you earned could also be used in the online mode, an asynchronous affair which sees one player setting up a raft of robot invaders and their attack patterns while others could defend against them. The only shame is this feature is lost to time due to the closure of the Wii U Online. However, with 100 stages to complete, Star Fox Guard is still decent value, prior to getting repetitive anyway. It's not helped that the presentation is rather bland. Environments surrounding each base are painfully sterile, with little in the way of flair despite taking iconic planets from the series, while the bases themselves are incredibly dull looking. Robot models stand out at least, with cute animations and varied styles, and performance is steady too, but it looks very middling and lacks personality. The sound struggles too. There are some witty lines from key characters, but none of it is voiced and feels dispensable. The music is pretty forgettable, though handily it does start to ramp up as combat bots get close to the core. At least the laser guns and explosions of robots sound decent enough. It just all lacks the charm the Star Fox games are known for. Despite these complaints, some minor, some more significant, Star Fox Guard is a solid spin-off with a cool console-specific gimmick and a decent concept which somewhat outstays its welcome. The gamepad controls and defense gameplay start off promisingly, but never quite evolve enough to keep the game interesting throughout. A lack of presentational charisma certainly doesn't help. But for those wanting some solid tower defense gameplay, with a small helping of Star Fox on the side, it's not a bad time at all.